When you put two colors next to each other, it's like a lightning bolt. You know that somewhere that's going to maybe strike someone else as well. So you just listen to your gut. I had grown up with my parents who essentially traveled the US looking for old Americana. It's kind of neat to sift through the rubble. Learning the colors and the textures, understanding what gets saved. The early genesis of creative ideas came from going into old speakeasies and hanging out with farmers with stories, and then listening to old jukeboxes with 78s that really told the story of Appalachia or these other American places. In large part, it was understanding that there's a lot of truth in the fringe. That became my compass, how I look at things in the world too. I'm looking for the real deal. When I make these paintings, I feel like it's an alchemy, and I'm trying to speak to people. I almost see them as like predicated on this hyperbole of hope, the notion of improving our modern selves, what it is to be human. It's always kind of a fever, but you get your muscles warmed up and then you just kind of go do battle with these paintings, even if they're to represent something a lot more peaceful or amiable. And sometimes I'm in here and it feels like you're just an animal and you're pacing this cage and you're mad at the painting sometimes, you're in love with it. It's like this relationship that you're trying to resolve and balance and kind of give it stasis. There's been times where I'll start a painting and I'll decide that I can't stop looking at it. If I make a break between me and that work, it could create a disconnect. And I've carted it home and I'll lay it by my bed or just keep it in my presence. And it could take a week, it could take a month. Sometimes you'll pull something off the stacks and it's 3 years later. Somewhere the fever breaks and then you're just in the blind and you're painting. And you're making it, and you know you're chasing it. And you quit thinking about such technical things, and you're just moving. It is that kind of fine line, that little rise of paint. It's like the hang time of a note in jazz. It's the invisible moment. It's that moment where you're just hanging in space, you're waiting for the next beat. You're all together with that musician and you go with it. And a good painting will take you on that ride. In 100 years from now, if you find this in a pile, what is it that you're going to want to pick up? That would hold up over decades? That, to me, would be the end goal. And you'll probably feel like you can almost know the story and maybe the temperature of a specific time, just to have a glimpse of the fever.